Hey guys, it's History Behind the Warrior, and today I'm going to be talking about the differences between Powergirl and Supergirl. As some people are kind of confused of what's going on with Powergirl. Is she an older version of Supergirl? Is she a clone? Did I make this video in order to put boobs in the thumbnail? Maybe. But the main aim of this video is to discuss the differences between these two characters and the different contrasts between the two, with the only few similarities we see out from the gate are the fact that they're both Kryptonian and they're both female. So allow me to enlighten you about the differences. Now let's talk about this version of Supergirl. Now the Supergirl we see within the Injustice universe isn't too different from her main continuity counterpart. She has a very strong head on her shoulders and does have a very strong sense of heroism, and we do see a fair bit of it in Injustice 2, where she tries to convince Cal that this new aggressive nature and massive change of personality is not what she would have wanted or what his father would have wanted. The personality wise, it's very similar to the main continuity of the New 52. Now her origins are also the exact same, both in the original timeline and the New 52 reboot, her being the last daughter of Krypton and being sent off to Earth along with her cousin Cal and being caught in an asteroid field. I believe the Injustice 2 story is a great portrayal of the character, so just by going off that and the stuff I've read from the DC comics, including that of the New 52, we'll be using Supergirl as a reference point and someone to compare Powergirl to. So on that note, let's actually start talking about Powergirl. Now Powergirl comes from a parallel universe, multiverses people, and she is the other universe's Kara Zor-El. So in a way they are very similar, but this is where things start to part ways. Their origins are rather different. You see, in Powergirl's original origins, before the New 52 reboot, she was sent off Krypton much like Cal, except unlike her cousin, whose ship was designed for the fast travel, Kara was put on a prolonged voyage and was mentally put into stasis, where the ship she was on would run an AI VR program, allowing her to relive many moments she would have had while she was on Krypton. Now, although her mind was in stasis, her body was not, so by the time she landed on Earth and met up with Cal, she was an adult in her early 20s. So although this is very similar to Supergirl, it does differ quite a bit. Now in the New 52 reboot, when she does arrive on Earth, she is raised by her cousin Clark and his wife Lois Kent. They essentially become her guardian, and they raise her to become a strong hero. Now in this reboot, for the purposes of not making this complicated, I'm going to refer to her as Karen, as people do refer to her as Karen in the new reboot. Karen doesn't initially start off as Powergirl. She in fact starts off as this world's Supergirl. It's only until she's teleported to another universe by accident, again multiverses people, in which she learns that this apparent Earth already has a Supergirl. Now this is where she changes herself and takes up the mantle of Powergirl, and looking much like her original timeline counterpart. Now personality wise, Karen is quite different to Kara. Whereas Kara is very kind, sweet and very compassionate, Karen has a take no bullshit attitude. She will get to the point, and she is a bit of a hard ass. She's very blunt and very straight to the point compared to a Kara counterpart. So I will say in comparison, Karen's kind of a badass, and the take no shits attitude is what really has her stand out, especially when you compare it to other Kryptonian like Cal and Kara. It does make her rather different. Now another big difference between Kara and Karen is in fact the age gap between the two. You see, Supergirl is portrayed as being more of a teenager than a young adult. Karen on the other hand is in roughly her mid-20s, if not so a tiny bit more. Now time to talk about the obvious one, and the main reason you came here because of the thumbnail, boobs. Now they have set a meaningful origin of it within the New 52, which she establishes where the only reason she has that is because she lacks an actual symbol that defines her as a character. She didn't just want to be some kind of knockoff of Kal-El, or even Supergirl for that matter in this timeline. She's a very strong and independent kind of character, and really just kind of wanted to become a hero from her own merit. So she removed the S symbol on her chest so she could replace it with something else. And I quote from her, "I couldn't think of anything I thought. Eventually I'd figure it out and close the hole, but I haven't." Now this does add another layer to the character, which is extremely nice. It shows a lot more meaning to her, and I guess adds a layer of sorrow to the character, which we hadn't seen been portrayed before. Because you know, it totally wouldn't be the fact that boobs help comics sell. Totally not that at all. Isn't that right, New 52 reboot Starfire? That's what I thought. But I wanted to make this video to really kind of show the differences between herself and Supergirl. As I tell you what, I really like Powergirl in comparison to Supergirl, because Powergirl is a goddamn badass. She is tough as nails, and and she's a character I would love to see more of. But this does pretty much wrap up my Powergirl video, guys. I hope this has kind of explained a lot about the Powergirl character, because a lot of people don't really know her. Again, like I mentioned at the very beginning, from my outside standpoint, she just looks like another female Kryptonian, but there are more layers to a character than just that, as I have clearly explained here. So please, in the comments below, tell me, who are you? Team Powergirl or Team Supergirl? Both are fantastic in their own right, so please comment down below. Now for you Injustice fans, I want to give you all a massive heads up. I'll be doing a top 5 things you probably didn't know about Sub-Zero. So if you are intrigued by the character, as he does come out next month, I will advise you to go check that out next week Wednesday. Also feel free in the comments below to create a suggestion for next week's Injustice 2 video. I'm currently thinking about the ending of Injustice 2, or endings of Injustice 2, and what each of these different endings could possibly mean storyline wise, as both are fairly interesting. But if someone in the comments below comes up with an idea that's really good, I will most likely make a video about it. Now before this video wraps up guys, if possible let's try getting it to about 500 likes. It's a fantastic way of supporting this channel and really does help out a ton. Now as always guys, please comment, like, subscribe and share this video with everyone you know. Please take care and I'll see you all next time.